Today we have Danielle and Kayleigh, the founders of CLEARSTEM, and I am so excited to have you ladies. I've heard so much about both of you, and aside from your skincare, which I actually put on this morning, I love the mission and passion behind your brand. So I would love to hear from you guys what inspired you to do a clear skincare and truly finding the root cause of acne.
Yeah, so finding the root cause, you hit the nail on the head, right? So acne is something that millions of people struggle with, and it affects women in particularly because we have all the hormone fluctuations. We've got, going on and off birth control, that sort of thing. And we also like to use our products. But when most women get acne, they get put on a bunch of different prescriptions. It can make their bodies less healthy over time. Generally, the topical things that we get prescribed like rip our skin apart, and those options are just not desired anymore. So we both struggle with acne, and we understood that finding the root cause was critical to our own healing journey. Because I did Accutane 3 separate times. My acne came right back because I was still using things with pore cloggers, right? So understanding the root causes and addressing them in a whole body mindset is the way to heal acne. And that's what we both went through. And that's what we wanted to give to everyone.
I love that. And what is your passion other than what seems obvious, but it might not be to us for starting CLEARSTEM?
One of my biggest passions is truly helping to relieve the suffering caused from acne. There's a huge mental health component. Yeah. Both Danielle and I struggled with it. I met Danielle when I was in my mid-20s. I had decided to get off birth control, and I dealt with testosterone rebound effect, and my entire skin had broke out with bright red, inflamed, angry cystic acne, both sides of my cheek, down my neck. And I did not know about root causes of acne. I didn't know that pore clogging ingredients is one of the biggest root causes of acne. And that is using pore clogging ingredients found in skincare, makeup, and hair conditioner. People don't even know what they are, how to find them. We did create a pore clogging ingredients checker on our website for everyone to make it really, really simple. Again, removing the suffering from acne. A lot of the suffering comes around being spun in circles all of the time, getting fed so much different information about things, getting fed every single diet, protocol, cleanse, that we simplify everything as it relates to acne. So of course, there's a million cleanses, diets, protocols, elimination, all things that you can do for different areas of health, but we really help remove the suffering specifically in acne and help keep it really, really simple. And so we have a very easy checklist that we have everyone go through. And the very first thing we have people do is head to our website, to our pore clogging ingredients checker, and go to all of the product pages of all their products that they use on their skin and hair conditioner, because that's a big cause of acne. Copy and paste the ingredient deck, search in there, and it'll show up in red which ingredient is a pore clogger. So that way you can just eliminate all the external causes of acne before you begin on the internal root causes.
Yeah, and pore cloggers it's such a massive discussion because over 95% of products contain them.
Wow.
Literally, I've never had anyone, because I own San Diego Acne Clinic and I've reviewed thousands of products in the 10 years that I've had the clinic. And the first thing that we do, but when we have a new patient, is to have them bring everything they're using. We go through the ingredient decks, every single one. And literally 95% of them have pore cloggers in there, even the expensive stuff, even the clean and organic stuff. So pore cloggers is a huge conversation.
Yeah. Looking in more deeply, I was really surprised. I love some of the content you guys put out there that and I see you guys are coming out the hair conditioner or have one.
We have one. Yeah.
How, people with acne worse on one side of the face. Yeah. It's normally the conditioner. So it's wild and so many things people don't know. Yeah. This is divine. We're all here. My big thing is root cause and getting to the bottom of it. And I think that most things in life could be solved holistically, and not with medicine, but there's a time and a place for medicine. So with that being said, I would love to, before we get deeper into the root causes, talk a little bit about birth control, because I know that there's a lot of women out there still on it. And, some people, there's a misnomer where to have clean skin, you need to be on birth control and all this stuff. So I would like to hit on birth control and how you feel it is for a woman's body and what's the misnomer about it and acne.
Yeah. So a couple of thoughts there. I mean, we've all been put on birth control. I'm seeing girls as young as 10 get put on birth control to quote, balance their hormones. It's using birth control for acne is very much like taking the batteries out of your smoke detector, right? It doesn't balance anything. It just suppresses testosterone and generally gives a little bit more estrogen, which can have its own side effects. It has impact on gut health, mental health, you name it, right? So understanding that it's very much a Band-Aid and that the root cause is still being unaddressed is just really important. If someone's on birth control and it's helping their skin, great, good for you. Just be aware that there will come a time to get off of it, and you're going to want to support your body in a very specific way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the interesting thing about birth control as well is just how convinced we are that it's supposed to, quote, help with acne. And the reason why it has helped people with their acne, like the reason why people are like, oh my gosh, birth control has cleared my skin, is because of what Danielle just said. It suppresses testosterone. So if someone,
most of them.
Yeah, most of them. Yeah, sorry, not all of them.
We're talking about the pill that people get put on for their skin.
Yeah. So there's like the copper IUD. So there's all different ones referring to the pill here because that's the highest percentage of the type of birth control that people are on, and typically the one that people are on to, quote, help with acne. So the reason why it works is for people whose acne, who one of their root causes is high levels of testosterone, well, by just suppressing it, that, quote, gets rid of their acne. But there's actually an additional root cause to why is your testosterone levels higher. So we're muting an issue when there's an underlying issue. There's a lot of different reasons of why someone's testosterone might be higher. One example could be a very high fasting insulin or high blood sugar levels. So that can increase testosterone. You could also be taking excess amounts of certain supplements that actually raise testosterone levels. So excess amounts, and again, this is not normal amounts, this is excess, vitamin D, zinc, and B12, all of those, there's white paper research on how they raise levels of testosterone, specifically vitamin D, because for men who are older and are experiencing low testosterone, the first thing a doctor typically does is put them on a very high dose of vitamin D to increase their testosterone levels. So a lot of women could be over supplementing with vitamin D, and this can easily be done. You might be taking a standalone, might be in your multivitamin, it could be in a beverage that you're drinking, another immune supplement that you're taking. So you're self-inducing higher levels of testosterone, causing testosterone-related acne, and then you go to the doctor and they put you on birth control to suppress your testosterone, when really it could be something in your lifestyle or diet or supplements that you're taking that is raising the levels. And so we always want to ask the question why, because an imbalance of hormones in relation to acne is not a root cause. There's always a root cause as to why that hormone is out of balance.
Yes, I feel like there's a lot of doctors out there that Band-Aid it saying hormone imbalance, but why the hormone imbalance?
Yeah. And we want to make sure that people know we love the human beings that chose to become dermatologists. What we have a major issue with is the pharmaceutical method of throwing basically prescription after prescription onto people without addressing the root causes. The average derm appointment is what? Maybe 12 minutes? If you're lucky, they don't have time to go over your ingredients with you of what you're using in your skin and what vitamins you're taking. Like that literally is not possible for most of them to do. So prescriptions is what they are forced to rely on. And it's basically just a prescription matching service when the average woman goes to her derm to get her skin healed.
So I agree with you. I think there's some amazing dermatologists out there, but just like every field, there's good and there's bad. And it's not that they're bad. It's just that in school, it's a system. They're taught, I think, like 5% nutrition. I've had a dermatologist tell me when I insinuated that, good skin, you need to take care of it externally and internally. And when I made that insinuation, she's like, no, diet has nothing to do with it.
Oh God, that kills me.
I don't think so. I don't think that's right.
The average physician program, like the MD program, even one of the good ones in this country, 11 to 20 hours of nutritional education. That's it in 4 years. And it's not nutrition for how to eat healthy or be healthy. It's contraindications for the prescriptions they will be writing.
Yeah.
That's it.
We truly feel like we are here to help people become their own advocates for their own body, because we can't always rely on the medical system to solve everything for us. We are born with these bodies. And I think one of my biggest goals is to help people become more intuitive with their body and ask questions. It's like, okay, and notice what you're doing. So it's like, if you're having dairy every single day and you're noticing breakouts, could it be the dairy causing the breakouts? Because dairy is a big dietary root cause of acne. So instead of going to a doctor running to get a prescription, let's test getting rid of dairy for a few weeks. What happens to my skin? So we love to provide the known acne triggers as it's supplemental related, dietary, and of course, pore cloggers, and then let people experience it for themselves. Try removing things for a few weeks. See how your body responds. There are main acne triggers, but also everyone is a little bit different. So some people have dairy and they break out the next morning. Yeah. Some people can have dairy 3 or 4 days in a row and then they start breaking out. So it's still a little different for everyone, but it's good to just understand your own body and the way it reacts to different things. And then that way you can have the power instead of letting acne run your life. You can choose. Like I break out from a couple days of dairy. I won't break out the next morning. But if I'm just like, I'm on a cheese kick for a few days, I know what I'm doing. I know if I'm like 3 to 4 days in, like I literally have one down here because we were in New York last week and I was having a lot of dairy.
You don't have pizza
it was
in
so
New York,
good.
we're the problem. Okay.
And I was like, I know I'm probably going to get a chin acne. And I had some eggs last week. And I also know if I have eggs consistently, I will break out on my chin area too. And so I have a couple breakouts from last week, but I was indulging in New York. I was having some eggs and cheese.
Yeah, what are we going to do? Not drink all the champagne?
Exactly.
Erroneous. And we have one life. So of course there's a balance to be had.
Exactly.
Something that excited me and always divine with these interviews. Yesterday I had my first Chinese medicine appointment.
Ooh, fun.
And I saw that there was some Chinese medicine influence in CLEARSTEM.
Yes.
So that really excited me because what you were just saying resonated with me because I figured out my body type, the 8 body types. And some people could have dairy all day, every day, won't do anything. But other people, it has to do, I guess, with like the size of their organs and what have you. So I would love to hear a bit more from you ladies about the Chinese medicine influence.
God, I love this question. We don't talk about this that much. First of all, acupuncturists, shout out to acupuncturists because they are the unsung heroes of the medical world and their training and schooling that they go through.
It's so intense.
So intense, right? Yeah. They know so much about the entire body. So shout out to acupuncturists. But traditional Chinese medicine, I mean, they've been looking at the body for 3,000 years instead of America, where it's like 100 years ago, we'd pull out your teeth if you had mental illness.
And give you lobotomies. Too.
Right.
Oh
like literally God. Our medical system
they would give the 3 of us lobotomies
so
for thinking
for being hysterical.
Literally, we would be witches.
Yeah, we would be witches. For sure.
Happy Halloween.
Oh my God. So honoring the fact that they've been studying the human body and other things like energy and like, call it chi, whatever you want, but studying the body for thousands and thousands of years and passing on that wisdom. And what I love about them is that they focus on digestion. Digestion is huge and it's not just gut health. It's not your microbiome. Digestion, when I talk about it, is about how we're breaking down food in our stomach. Yeah. Stomach acid, bile, enzymes, things like that. Most Americans have some sort of gastrointestinal issue or some sort of like disruption with their digestion, but no one's talking to them about enzymes and like what's happening in your stomach. So we focus hard on that because that is literally a cascade that affects everything else in your system. So we are always telling people hot water with lemon before your meals, take enzymes, chew your food really carefully. Just starting with something simple like how you eat is extremely powerful, especially for acne. So we're always drawing on wisdom like that when we talk to people.
The warm foods versus cool foods as well, like warming the system, like the warm water, hot water with lemon. We don't want to be drinking ice cold water before we eat. We talk about HIIT workouts versus low impact workouts.
I love that too.
Talk a lot about
so
that.
Many of my girlfriends, like respectfully, if you're working out amazing, but they're so proud of themselves. They're like, I did berry 6 days in a row. I'm like, what are you doing? Like you're damaging like your nervous system. Stop it.
I mean, if that makes them feel good, great. But
I think it's a very New Yorker workout. It's an aggressive, like high energy city and like
it was made for men too.
Fast move. Yeah. Exactly. So I think that's another great topic to get into. These HIIT work.
On our acne checklist, so we have, without being overwhelming at all, we have our dietary section. That's the top food related triggers of acne. We have our supplement one that I chatted about. We have our pore cloggers and not properly exfoliating, which is more the topical causes of acne. And then the other section is our stress and cortisol related. And so that's where we talk about reducing some of the high impact and high high cardio workouts that we're doing, we have noticed when we get on different master classes where we're actually able to engage with hundreds of our consumers at one time, and we're asking different questions, a lot of our community that's struggling with acne, we notice are doing so many high impact, high cardio workouts, and they're terrified to slow down.
Up their testosterone too.
They're terrified to slow down because we used to be told that in order to quote lose weight, we had to do all of these crazy cardio workouts. When we know that's not true. A higher protein diet and weightlifting actually creates more lean muscles. And if our body is in a constantly stressed out state from high cardio, it's actually in a fear-based mindset, your entire body. So it actually hinders your ability to lose weight. So we like to educate our consumer. It's okay to slow down. It's okay to take days off working out in general. You're allowed to take days off, replace with some walks, light movements, stretches, hot yoga, Pilates, but things that are just going to help relax you and let you breathe. Those should be the workouts we're focusing on. And then using those high impact and cardio as these little like boosts and these little bumps and these little supplements that can help jumpstart different things, but not for a very consistent workout, especially if you're dealing with a lot of stress.
People underestimate workout in nature.
Yeah.
Woo-woo and like a nice
get off of a screen.
But it's actually nature's healing to your body and circadian rhythm. And it's so cool that I don't think I've ever had a brand on here before, but it's so cool to see like a brand where like the values of everything like behind it just completely align, and it's like a whole holistic system. And it's more than skin, it's the nervous system and calming the body and everything.
Thank you for saying that.
No, I mean it. I think it's so cool. So I believe you guys do with some of your clients, maybe if they order it on the website, like a blood test, is that right?
Yeah.
To treat the root cause. So what kind of things do you guys test for in this blood test?
So we have our acne lab test, and we've partnered with Rupa Health for it. So basically you can go onto our website. It's a page that's partnered with Rupa Health where you can order our acne lab tests. And we're testing for over 86 markers as they relate to acne. You'll see some things that maybe look familiar like CBC, some things that your doctor may run will also be on there with some additional blood markers that we believe are fully correlated with acne. What's most different about our acne lab test is the way that we look at it. So once you order it, a doctor signs off on it, you get your blood work done, like you can go to a Quest, a LabCorp, whatever it is. And then it's first evaluated with the norms, as if like you were going to your doctor and getting blood work and everything, quote, comes back normal. I know a lot of you, I know a lot of people have gone to the doctor, gotten blood work, everything comes back normal. Meanwhile, they're bloated from every meal they're eating. They're dealing with aggressive cystic acne. So we've all been there. From those ranges, after they're processed, we then have acne lab specialists, which are blood chemistry specialists that look at it from a brand new lens with a wider optimal range as it relates to acne. And they go through it. And so some different things that, for example, some different things that we're seeing, a lot of issues with drainage when it comes to the liver and kidneys, dehydration of the cell.
Dehydration's a major component that like people think when they drink water, they're getting all the minerals, but your average water doesn't even have minerals in it. You have to remineralize it.
Exactly. We're seeing a lot of mold, and it could even be someone who lived in mold in a dorm for 4 years in college, and now it's 4 years later, but their body hasn't detoxed it out, which is another one of the big root causes we've been seeing is inability to properly detox. And for that, it means that someone isn't having regular bowel movements and they're not sweating. So that's the body's real detox mechanisms. And so some of the things that we focus on with people when they do the acne lab test, we don't dump an entire supplement protocol on them. They maybe get like 5 or 6 supplements that can be really helpful, especially when it comes to mold, or we'll recommend very specific electrolytes for the cellular dehydration. But more importantly, it's actually more lifestyle things. Yeah. So we focus on making sure people are going to the bathroom every single day, are sweating, their detox pathways and lymphatic system is open, making sure they're having hot water with lemon before meals, making sure they're chewing their food, they're going on walks in nature, they're getting enough sleep. So a lot of the things are actually so simple and don't cost anything.
So
and then
true.
for some of the more intense
money in
cases,
that, ladies. Come on.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, there's no money in recommending getting nature time, getting sunlight, making sure you're going to the bathroom. But we want to be real about that. Our job is, in the supplements protocols that we recommend are actually from other brands. Many times our Mind Body Skin supplement for cases is recommended because it's so transformational for acne. But besides that, we have electrolytes and then a couple other things that are so specific for mold or parasites or detox.
Mold's a very big trigger word for me. I have the most epic photos of all time. I'll send you ladies. Me detoxing from mold. My skin.
That is intense.
Me and a piece of pizza, you couldn't tell who was who.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
That's really hard to go through. How long did it take you to fully get over it?
I got rid of 70%. I still have 30%, but I did that protocol for 4 months.
Yeah.
And I got rid of 2 strains completely, which was terrifying. And it's a journey, and it's given me like a second purpose in life.
Yes.
So thankful for the mold, but I'm like a mold nerd where to me, I think like you either have mold or parasites, everyone.
Mostly we do. Like, it's so normal for everyone to have parasites in them. Sorry to freak everyone. I'm sure you talked about this on your podcast. So I'm sure it's not new for your community. But yeah, it's when we're not detoxing and when we're not having bowel movements and getting them out, or they're stuck because of the drainage issues. So it's just routine and just regular healthy habits. I know that sounds so lame sometimes because people want fast, quick answers.
People want a magic pill.
They want a magic pill.
Well, we did give them that.
I know.
We also teach how to actually sustain, how to sustain and stay healthy, because I mean, everything should be holistic or whole body. We try to say whole body instead of holistic, just because the word holistic, people they don't respect that word. They want the quick fix. They want the big guns. They want a more aggressive treatment. So we're all about giving people those results quickly with things that are strong enough to actually work, but then also how to keep your nervous system regulated and take yourself to a healthier state and keep yourself there so you don't have as many setbacks.
Yeah. And speaking of whole body, the whole reason why we created our Mind Body Skin supplement was after almost 10 years of running lab work and people who are struggling with acne and seeing the same patterns come back over and over and over again. Of course, you have the bio-individual ones that we were just talking about, but there are some very consistent ones that show up with people who are struggling with acne. So for 80% of all of those reasons, we created Mind Body Skin, and it has been transformative to people that are lacking those key nutrients and key functions of the body. So Mind Body Skin can really help people with that.
So what's in the Mind Body Skin that makes it so powerful?
Great question. So it really does support 6 areas of the body that impact your skin the most. Instead of just antibiotics or spironolactone or Accutane, those things all just address one thing, and they're very Band-Aid.
Accutane's a hell of a drug.
And it doesn't always work for people. I did it 3 times. It came right back. So Mind Body Skin is the antithesis to all of that. So it has DIM, which helps with estrogen metabolism. Everyone needs that, even men. And it's not an insanely high amount. It's a very normal standard amount that pretty much everyone can tolerate very, very well. It also has vitamin A. It's bio-individual. It's a little, bioavailable. Now, vitamin A, it's important for acne. That's why there's so many retinol-based treatments and things like that. Ours is too much for pregnant people, but it's not at the higher limit that you could find at CVS. So it's middle/high, but it's the right amount to get change if you're struggling with acne. We've got 8 different studies to back that up. And then it also has liver support, liver and lymph, which is huge. It gets that area of the body gets completely ignored in Western medicine. So liver, lymph, there's dandelion, milk thistle, glutathione, turmeric for inflammation. I know, right? That liver blend is legit. We love the liver. Anything we can do to support the liver. There's also digestive support, since people have trouble breaking down their food a lot of the time. So there's some protease and then HCl in there. Then there is 5-HTP. 5-HTP helps with the stress component of acne, which is, as we know, huge. We also have a version that doesn't have 5-HTP. So in case anyone's on like an SSRI, they can take that version. What else is in there? B5, which is huge for oil and inflammation. And then what else is in there? What am I forgetting?
I think you hit it all. Did you get the digestive enzymes in there? You had that. Yeah. Digestive enzymes, liver and inflammatory support are vitamin A, DIM, B5, glutathione.
Yeah.
For liver too.
Yeah. We love supporting the liver.
Super supplement.
Yes. Yeah.
So you guys obviously treat acne. What's your take on rosacea? It's a selfish question. I have rosacea.
Rosacea is really, really common. It's that characteristic, capillaries that are popping up usually in the cheeks. It can go to the nose. It's definitely related to what you eat. I'm sure you've noticed that if you have like alcohol or spicy food, it probably kicks it up. A lot of people, gluten is a big trigger for rosacea. Gluten is a big trigger for a lot of skin issues, even like keratosis pilaris, the little bumps on your arms, vitiligo, even like
psoriasis.
Yeah. If you have any sort of skin concern, gluten is making it worse. Like you can just I'm comfortable just stating that like as a fact, right? So for rosacea specifically, gluten's a huge one. Eggs is another huge one. Eggs can be really taxing on our immune system, specifically in the lymphatic context. So when you see the big squishy areas of your cheeks being inflamed, that is generally tied to the lymph in some way. So I would do an elimination test with eggs for about 2 months. Make sure that it's actually calming your rosacea down like in a meaningful and prolonged way. And then you can try to like reintroduce them just to see what your threshold is, or you might just want to avoid eggs as part of your normal habit.
Yeah, I'm so excited on this Chinese medicine journey. Like I was told no chicken for me and no spicy foods. But it's funny how earlier on you said, you want to get people more intuitive about their body, where I hear from everyone, hot drinks. And I did like a Panchakarma Ayurveda thing.
Yes, I've been there.
Guys, I do all this. And my big thing is like ice almond milk latte every morning. And everyone's like, no, you're shocking your system. And like this guy told me what I wanted to hear.
What do you say?
I'll do it even when I'm skiing. And I'm one of the 8 body types, the only one of the 8 where you should have cold because I have a very, very warm stomach.
It's amazing.
I always thought it was bizarre. Like, why do I anti-spice, crave these things? It's all very intuitive. So I thought that was kind of cool. When
you're more of a cooling body type, which is amazing. And I think that's so fun as a next layer of wellness.
So about it.
Because it's, once you start to really begin your wellness journey and you start with what I consider like level 1, it's like removing the pore cloggers. It's addressing your diet, your supplements. And then like level 2 and 3, it's so fun to like dive deep into Chinese medicine, go see an acupuncturist, and then really start to learn. What we try to avoid always creating in our community is what we like to call wellness madness, which I'm sure you've been there because I'm speaking very personally. I've been there. I feel like years ago I was...
It's hard not to be there.
Yeah. You start to get so obsessed, and it just creates this wellness madness, but it can create such a negative reaction because then you become so obsessed where it becomes too much. You're doing too many cleanses, too many protocols, and then you're constantly shocking your body. And so we like to tell people, start small. And then as you want to discover and learn more, one thing at a time, allow your body to absorb it, understand it, learn. We don't need to do everything at once when it comes to cleanses, diets, all
for
the things.
sure.
Yeah. And enjoy your life.
Yeah.
Like we formulate all of our products for efficacy and joy of use.
Yeah.
Like everything you interact with, that you buy and that you spend your money on and that you're choosing should bring you joy in some form. Like we're big believers in that. So with the wellness madness, craze that, is a constant thing. And I don't think it's going to go away. We have to intentionally bring ourselves back to a place of optimizing for joy and peace and enjoying our choices, even if it's not the most healthy thing that you think you should be doing that day or in that moment. You chose it. Enjoy it. You don't need to justify it.
Totally.
Live your life.
Everything in moderation. I think that's exactly correct. To switch gears a little, I have a bunch of interests, and another interest is entrepreneurship. So I think it's pretty remarkable how the both of you created this skincare line, which is doing quite well. I see it everywhere in a market that's very saturated with skincare. So I would love to hear like the challenges that came with that, and your product speaks volumes of why it's penetrated that market. But I would love to hear from you guys the struggle to get it seen and into the right hands, and
totally
what
Thank
that's
you.
been.
It is a very saturated market out there, but CLEARSTEM is so different. So normally the market, I'm going to break it up into 3 categories. There's anti-acne, then there's like anti-aging, and then there's like clean beauty. So we bridge the gap between all of those essentially. So normally if you have acne or acne prone skin and you want to age well, you are traditionally screwed. Acne products are really toxic. They annihilate your barrier. They dry you out just to try to kill the bacteria. They're really bad for your barrier. Yeah. And then you go to anti-aging products and they all use these pore clogging filler agents that break us out. Then there's clean beauty, which is like, okay, great, no hormone disruptors, but the ingredients, even though they're organic, are still pore clogging, like coconut oil, for an example, right? So you're trying to make all these decisions and they cancel each other out and you're like chasing your tail constantly. So we knew that this was an issue, and Kayleigh and I both like are heavy into anti-aging, but we're still very acne prone. So we made a line that was both, and we avoided all the like known toxins that you can, imagine. Like there's no parabens or phthalates or anything like that in our stuff. So having all those ethos combined in products that are truly efficacious, where you can like see a difference every time you use it, that's what's made us really catch on, because we didn't raise money. We didn't like have a bunch of,
I love that.
Yeah, we bootstrapped this thing. Like we didn't have like the normal, fund of like $10 million to go market everywhere and like shove your brand down people's throats. Like we were literally organic, and people caught on, they saw results, they shared about us. Like we barely did any advertising for the first few years.
This is amazing. Yeah.
One of my favorite ways about how we grew is Danielle and I just stayed in our own little world. Yeah. Like our own little world with our community. Truly, like we didn't look at what other beauty brands were doing. Honestly, we didn't involve ourselves with getting to know other beauty brands. Now we have, like now that we've really identified ourselves in the market, like we network and are friends with a lot of other beauty founders. But at the time we were just like, we're here to service. Yeah, we're here to service ourselves and our community. And that's all what we're here to do. We are not here to compete with other brands, to see what other people are doing, to formulate a product that everyone is formulating right now. You know what I mean? There's like always trends. We've never followed any trends. We just focus on how we can make the biggest impact with our community and people who are struggling with acne. And we just stayed in our own little world doing that. And I think it was the greatest gift in our growth.
Oh, I love that. And I could be wrong, but it seems like you guys met because you were her client at the clinic. So like what happened? Were you like, hey, like, should we start a skincare line? Like,
you would think it happened like that, but no, it just happened organically.
Pun intended.
I started San Diego Acne Clinic after my huge battle with my skin. And I finally had to leave the corporate world and become an esthetician just to get access to information to heal my skin. But while I was there, I was like, oh my God, treating acne is the medical profession I had always wanted, but didn't know existed, because I studied genetics, biology, immunology, all that. So full circle moment, I'm starting San Diego Acne Clinic. And it has blown up. Like my process for eliminating variables and like clearing people and going over ingredients is what's needed. So you get a reputation really quickly when you're that effective. Kayleigh here was one of my first patients. And at the time I had been formulating a scar reversing serum, because I have a lot of darker skinned clients that scar very, very easily. Right. So, but they can't go do like an aggressive laser or an aggressive peel, because that alone could scar them. So I was formulating a product that would help scars in a really holistic way. So it had like stem cells, it had turmeric, it had, just different growth factors in it that could rebuild the skin. And I would get the lab samples back when I was clearing Kayleigh. And by then we were only working on her scars. So she was the perfect candidate. And I would be like, tell me what you think of this one, or, here's another one, but it's kind of sticky. I don't know. Tell me what you think. So we would geek out.
I was like, I can't keep doing this for free.
No, I was so upset. At the time I had a blog and a podcast, and I was consistently having Danielle on because I was like, more people need to know this. This transformed my entire life.
Wow.
Like I can help more people, and I'm such an educator at heart. And so I found myself wanting to educate about this all day, every day. I thought what Danielle was doing in the live she was transforming was so beautiful. And I just feel like I saw our life vision of making this huge impact truly to the world of people who are struggling with acne, because it's such a confusing and frustrating space. And the way Danielle simplified it for me, as like, I was the consumer that had no idea what I was doing. I was like, do I exfoliate? Do I not exfoliate? How do I exfoliate? What are pore cloggers? What do you mean these supplements are causing my acne? Like I was, as an IHP nutritionist, I was very well versed in foods as it relates to mood and gaining or losing weight, or different protocols, different diets. Like I understood that, but I was never taught the way, like foods and supplement as it relates to acne in any of the programs that I did. And so I truly felt like this was our mission in life, was to bring essentially all of the learnings and all the transformations that Danielle done at San Diego Acne Clinic to mass scale to the world.
That's absolutely incredible. And I'm so grateful to have both of you on. It's been, I just, I knew there was so much alignment, but to really see even more than I originally thought, it's pretty exciting. Where could people find both of you? Where could they shop for CLEARSTEM? All the above.
We do so much education. So if you want to dive deeper into anything we talked about on this podcast, you can find us on clearstem.com. And then all social channels are at ClearStem Skincare. And then Danielle and my Instagram, both also a ton of education, a lot of like lifestyle education, diving deep into acne. Danielle's is Danielle the Acne Guru, and mine is Kayleigh.Christina.
I love it. Thank you so much, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you, beautiful. Such a pleasure.